Uh, so Rizix is a 4/4 that's unblockable, but you can only play this if there are 3 or more cards in the same crypt. This card's like a must answer or die. Should we pick this up and try and force it? Like, this color combination is not popular, so like there's usually a lot of both of these colors of cards going around, and there aren't any good ruby or diamond cards in here or wild cards. We're not going to necessarily force it, but we're going to pick it up in case it feels open. Sapphire's always open. Yeah, it feels like it. Do I want to just snag this Taste for Blood? This seems great. So this is a 7 cost that gives target troop 2/2 and life drain permanently, and every time a troop you control attacks, this gets -1 cost. This is a blowout every time my opponent plays it. If you don't have removal, they just, like, you can't race a card that's, like, getting bigger and getting life drain, especially if it's even mildly evasive. Like, this card's super powerful. I'm going to be surprised there's not a constructed deck with this card, honestly, in the next set. I was hoping there'd be one in this set, but, like, the lack of a well kind of hurt it. Hurts the consistency. Hope everyone's having a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your weekend, or your week here with me. I think Jet Cadet's the pick here. It's just a quality, like, 2/1 flight. Can only block other troops with flight, but it's just like a very reasonable 2-drop. I am almost always Ruby something. You're not wrong. And this pack's got good Ruby. Like, if we're not forcing Ruby, if we're not forcing these two, the pick's probably Bolt Spasm, but I think I want to try this. Let's snag the Jet Cadet. So, Hex is a newer game, and they only have 5 sets right now. Set 6 is going to introduce their very first constructed rotation, and with that rotation, they're going to be introducing a new format called Immortal, which is an eternal non-rotating format. Depth Crawler is really good. Why is Crawler really good? Just 'cause, like, it's a 1-drop? I know 1-drops are a premium in this format. Oh, it puts Dreadlings in the crypt. Ha! That's cute. And I guess this trades up a lot. Okay, I'd buy that. I'd buy that. We can put the Dreadling gem in this, so it's good with this. This is still a format about 2-drops regardless of what shards we're playing, so I think I'm going to grab this Dusk Scout here. It's possible I want the Death Dealer, but we'll probably get something like that later. I want to just prioritize picking up some 2s. Drain Soul's really expensive and clunky. We've got a solid Underworld deck going already, though. And, like, there's a lot of Ardent decks in this format, so, like, not being able to block by Ardent troops is real upside. Yeah, a lot of the strong decks are Ardent, exactly. Like, we mostly draft Ardent decks here, because, like, it's one of the better archetypes. Deadeye Charger, probably the most playable in this pack. This card doesn't seem particularly exciting. I guess there's, like, a magical Christmas land where, like, we activate the gem in this and, like, make Dreadlings and, like, play this on 3, but this card's likely to wheel, too, so I'm gonna take the Deadeye Charger. This is a 2/2 with speed that if you have triple Blood Threshold becomes a 3/3. Okay, yeah, Dark Wonders, I can definitely see this. Aerialist is definitely one of the better Sapphire payoff cards. Hey, Monty. Yeah, we'll probably play some more Knife Cat this evening. I don't think I have any plans. Kids will go to bed and I'll play some Skyrim. What do we think about this pack? I don't think we're going to have enough thresholds for this to be a card. Guppy Gloves is very reasonable. This is actually an okay answer to Twilight Reverend. And I feel like we'll get Drain Souls eventually. I kind of like taking Guppy Gloves here. Any comments on that? I don't think this card's playable. I guess if we take this... Yeah, I'm going to take this. The Skittering Darks we should be able to get later. I don't think we have the thresholds for the Frostbite. How do we like Altar of Nulzan? Is this too slow for the format? We might pick up some Socketed cards later. I don't think Casualty of War is playable, right? Like, all of the good cards are Ardent or Underworld, pretty much. This only destroys a non-Ardent, non-Underworld troop. You think it's Casualty? We hate Altar. That's fair. Tanker Truck's not awful. Yeah, we'll probably board in the... Well, we usually get Tanker Trucks late. I don't hate snagging a Halt. I guess we got a ton of Underworld troops. Yeah, actually, I kind of like one Spite. That's fine. Takes care of Yeti and Siegesaurus. That's fair. Someone asked me about the... Yeah, there's a Tanker Truck. Someone asked me about the texture pack for Skyrim. I haven't tried it because I do all my stuff on Linux. So, like, the non-native applications like Hex and Skyrim, I run through Wine, which sometimes throws fits. And I didn't want to add complexity into Skyrim and accidentally cause extra crashes. I mostly just want to, like, play through the storyline, like the graphics or whatever. I also wasn't sure if making the graphics better would allow me to still record and stream it because my computer is not stellar. Another depth crawler, okay. How many Dreadling generators do we need to play the... Do you want to start picking up zombies? Maybe I should have started picking those up a while ago. This guy... Blight Reaper, sacrifice another troop, this gets 1/1. What do we like here? Is it Blight Reaper or Zombie? Like, this is like one of the few decks that this might be playable in. This is, I think I'm leaning on Zombie just because 2-drop, yeah. Like, getting a bunch of zombies seems great. The Death Dealer came back around. I like that. Yeah, we've got, like... And look at... We mentioned earlier that these colors are... These shards are often open. We've got 13 cards that are potentially playable right now. And there's the Bog came back around. Yeah, just like... It'll be interesting building this deck with the possible cuts that we could have. They snowball very quickly, you're not wrong. And honestly, this doesn't cost any resources to sacrifice. So, like, Depth Crawler into this isn't awful. The Skittering Dark came back around. Explosion seems like the pick here. Target troop gets -3/-3 permanently. Scrounge 1, summon 3 Dreadlings. That seems plenty excellent. Quality removal. Twilight Reverend Dancer. Paw of Yezukan. Can we splash this? I feel like I want to take this and splash it. Yeah, I'm going to take this. I think we're going to grab an Underworld Decree at some point, and hopefully a Primal Prism, and splash this card. So scrounge 3, destroy target opposing card. Like, that's real good. Blackfire Sorcerer is not terrible. We can put, can't be blocked by troops with power less than it in here. We don't have a ton of 3s as is. Hailhawk's a flight troop, which is kind of nice. I think it's Sorcerer. We're kind of split. They're both very reasonable. We're probably a Gorn deck, so this is fine. This zombie's probably going to wheel. I'm going to grab the Primal Prism so we can splash the paw easier. Primal Prism gives us a threshold of our choice, or a charge. So I think with like a Primal Prism and like a Decree and then like one Wild Shard, we can play the Paw of Yezukan for just a high upside powerful card. Hopefully that zombie will wheel back around. I'd like 3 to 4 zombies in this deck ideally. The Prism could also very well wheel, but I think the Prism pickup's a higher priority than the zombie pickup. Underworld Decree. I think we could pick these up later too. I wouldn't mind another Sorcerer. We do need more 2s. Our curve's a little awkward. Having Depth Crawlers dice though, like having something to actually do on 1 is sweet. Another Taste for Blood. This Death's Head Raider is just excellent. Upgrade Technician is also good. I think I'm going to take the Raider here. Like just another card that's like removal and value with our Dreadling generators. Another Jet Cadet sounds great. What does this do? That's too expensive. Yeah, I'll just take another 2-drop here. And we've already got 17 cards here that we could theoretically play, so like, not like I mentioned during the first pack, not going to be hurting for playables in this deck. Zombie. Yep. Snap picking up another zombie here. So the zombies, for those wondering why we want more of them, this has a one-shot ability, so you can do this once per copy of the zombie. Sacrifice another troop. All your zombies in all zones get +2/+1. So this turns himself into a 4/2 when you sacrifice a troop to him, and all my other zombies turn into 4/2s. And then when you draw another zombie, they'll turn into 6/3s, etc. I'm not sure what you mean by expansive. Like getting bigger? I mean, they're releasing 2 to 3 sets a year at a minimum, it seems like. I think, is Broodnet playable removal? It seems okay. It's a little bit medium against Valors, but it's like cheap removal. This doesn't seem like the worst. None of these cards are great. Maybe we play a Bleak Blade Twister. I'm never impressed by this card. People just like don't block Dreadlings in this format because that card exists. I'm gonna grab the Blight Reaper. We might screw around with that. Nothing particularly great in here. Take the Crackling Magma. Expensive. This game is no game is anywhere near as expensive as Magic. Magic is ridiculously expensive. It's just the TLDR. Magic is obnoxiously expensive. No other game comes close to being as expensive as it. As far as the limited goes, like these drafts, if you're paying money for them outright, they cost about $6 or so, $6.50, depending on what packs are selling for on the auction house. And then if you 2-1, you get 2 packs back. So you only need to draft like, I don't know, $1 or $2's worth of cards to like 2-1 and have your draft be free. That's not real. I'm talking about games that are relevant. Yeah. Seralith, we drafted this the other day and it was pretty good. I 2-1'd with that. Wow, this pack's actually really bad for our colors. I think I'm just going to snag the Seralith so that way we don't have to play against it, honestly. Dust Scout's not terrible, but we've got plenty of playables, so I'm just going to snake the rare out of here. Upgrade Technician's pretty decent. He makes 2 Dreadlings when he comes into play, and you can usually put a Dreadling gem in him to get more going to help enable some of our Scrounge and Assault cards. Do. So, Depth Crawler and Upgrade Technician getting the Dreadling sockets, Blackfire Sorcerer getting the Can't Be Blocked by Troops with Power Less Than socket. I'd like a couple more zombies in this deck, and there's the zombie, and it's really the only thing. What does this do? Just can't ready. That seems real bad. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna take another zombie here. This is a really good pack if you're in Ruby or Wild. There's a Wild Child in there, there was Creebait, there was Fireball. Should have hated the Baby Yeti, right? Alright, we're up to 3 zombies. Hopefully we can get 1 or 2 more zombies in this pack. Declan Scott, stop attacking your brother's trains. Come here. Declan, come here. Declan Scott. Declan Scott, come here. Nice, yes. Don't attack your brother. Come here. Now you want to come in? Come sit by your dad? You need a diaper change, mister? Nope, not yet. What do we got in here? I feel like our top end is plenty. I kind of want a 2. The Altar of Null's End actually not terrible. It seems like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 socketed cards, but I kind of just want more Dreadlings, honestly. I also just like snaking another Jet Cadet being okay. Haunting Cry, really? I guess it's a draw 2, lose 2. I really feel like we don't want more grind. I just want to kill them. I kind of just want another 2-drop. Yeah, I'm just going to play another 2-drop. This is like just the wild child of my archetype. Just never draft too many of them. Lash Curve, the character that you create for the single-player game doesn't have any bearing on the PvP player game, and it doesn't cost you anything, so just feel free to experiment with them and get a feel for the game itself. I'm just going to snap up another Primal Prism here so we can guaranteed splash this Paw as you can. Nice and easy. Easy does it. Blade Reaper's pretty good with Dreadlings, too. I don't know if I want him, though. I'm going to need to cut something. This is 23 cards now. Wouldn't mind one more zombie in this deck. Actually, I'd probably just like play as many zombies as we could get, honestly. I think I'm going to take it. Do you want a Taste for Blood or a Depth Crawler here? Which of these do we want? I feel like I might want another bomb like Taste for Blood. Like, Taste for Blood and a Jet Cadet's pretty good. You just, like, have an evasive guy. Anyone? What do we think? Kinda want a second taste. One taste is enough. Fine. I guess I have a couple scrounge guys. Yeah, I'll script another Blade Reaper. Maybe we'll end up playing these. I don't know yet. I could see an argument being made for the Broodnet. We don't have a ton of removal in the deck. This guy always like makes it all the way around. What champion are we playing? Is this a Gorn deck? I don't know if this is a Gorn deck or not. We're definitely going to have to cut some of these cards. Yeah, I guess Gorn Cadet is pretty good. And we have the Rizix as our start, so... What's Mazlock? Is that the stun guy? Oh. I'm gonna Snake to Misery. I feel like we could savage someone with this card. Should have taken. You think I need a third one? I don't know that I want to play a third Slow Shard. I think 3 Slow Shards is too many. The Primal Prism crossed my mind. It's definitely like, yeah, this is a thing we could do, but I don't know if I want 3 of them. I think I'd rather just like play 2 wilds. I'm gonna snake the Rusted Rune. We might actually board that in at some point. Yeah. And actually, I think because we're splashing, I'm probably cutting these triple blood things, and that gives us a nice, yeah, nice even 23 here so far. You're a brat, Declan Scott. I love you, but you're a brat. It's probably just 3 wild is enough. Probably like the 2 Pentad Prisms and then 1 wild shard. And then we're probably playing, that's 7, probably just like 7/7 on the other 2. So that gives us 9/9/3. It might be greedy. Maybe we're supposed to go 9/8/3. You can see that too. We have some double bloods. So that's probably what we want. But I guess we have a lot of early blue sapphire cards as well. It's fine. We've got 4 Jet Cadets. And some of the zombies got picked up going around too. What do we think? Do we need... What are the... Let me pull up the hypergeometric distribution calculator and see what the difference is between 3 and 4. Population size, 43. Sample size, let's say by turn 6, we've seen 12 cards. So with 3 sapphire sources, we're 67% to have... Or 3 wild sources, we're 67% to have it by turn 6. And with 4, we're... Yeah, I should probably play a 4th. It's like 78%. We gain 11% by adding 1 more bin. And then the question becomes, do I want... Which one of these do I want 7 of, and which do I want 6? And I think I want 6 blood, 7 sapphire. Gives us 8 blood total, which makes Explosion a little bit hard to cast, and Death Set a little bit hard to cast, but the rest are still fine. And snag Gorn as the champion. Yeah, I think I like this. We're not going to play this whole set out, but let's play this first. Let's play this first set at least. You're a monster, Declan Scott. A little toddler monster. I love you, but you're a toddler monster. No, the TV's not a touchscreen, bud. You can't push the buttons on it. You got to get the remote. This hand's a little slow. It's got the taste for blood in the opener, though. I kind of want a 2-drop. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan this. Well, we have a 2-drop. Wish granted, I guess. Oh, 1 second. I got to grab my toddler. Hey, stop poking at the TV. Whoa. Whoa. Alright, drawing a 3rd sapphire card without a sapphire source, not good. Maybe we should have just kept the first hand and hope to have drawn one of our 2-drops. The good news is if we draw blood, we can still play the Blackfire Sorcerers on 3. I wonder how many Twilight Strikes has. Hey, hashtag never didn't have it. Think we're snapping off this block here? Let me go ahead and play my Blackfire Sorcerer out here. Oh, right. This is sweet. This archetype's not just dead to Twilight. We've got Explosions and Guppy Gloves and stuff like that. It's exciting. I'm used to just playing colors that are just like, no, we're dead. No blocks here, obviously. Hopefully we hit a resource next turn that's not slow, so we can just go Cadet. Or so we can kill that. Yep, I'm going to do this here. I'm going to go ahead and attack with this. And then go Cadet Crawler. Raging this will probably bait out any removal Trax might have. He's almost certainly champ powering this. You just need one more resource to be able to play this out on it, which would be nice. Yep. Not blocking here. No attack, fair. Shard is sweet. We even have a troop in our crypt, so we can scrounge this. So we void that, and then we get 3 Dreadlings. And I'm just going to attack with everything here. If he wants to trade these two, that's fine with me, because I have this Taste for Blood that's going to be super cheap next turn. So every time we attack, this gets cheaper. So Blood is going to be very tasty next turn. Yep, just blocking Dreadlings. Deal. Goes to 16. So next turn, if this lives again, probably going to Taste for Blood this, so it can just keep hitting hard. Build our own Twilight Reverend, basically. I should have drafted a second copy of this card. I guess we got a Jet Cadet instead, but this card's still really good. No locks. Just that one. Okay. See what his follow-up is. Normally, I would want to, like... Oh, well, I'm glad... Sweet. That's really good. Because it means we can save this when he wants to block it next turn. This puts it back in my hand, right? It gets Deathcry, put this back in your hand. Yep, because these are Underworld. So I can save it, gain 6, and then it'll jump back to my hand. I'll see no attacks here. Sure, but it's like the type of card that like swings games, right? It's like Lasgar's Vengeance good a lot of the time. And a lot of the time when you make it to top deck mode, you have a lot of resources anyways. Like here would be a good example. Like I'm gonna have 5 resources, and then they're gonna get to sacrifice this to this. Oh no, because they want to actually kill it. Fair. Make me replay it. So I didn't play the resource out here, so they didn't know that I'd be able to replay it this turn. So this +2 power only lasts 1 turn, so let's just go back to being a 4/3 here. So we're definitely in the driver's seat, but they've got a draw off of this because they can sacrifice it to here to give this life drain an unblockable. I guess we're actually, like, he's got a lot of sacrifices in the bank here, so yeah, he's got a lot going on. I guess if we hit another resource, we can rage our life drainer. Never mind. Alright, well, we'll rage our flight guy. Multiple drain souls are a bit of a beating. I'm saving the Dreadlings in case we hit a, in case we hit, what's the word I'm looking for, an assault card. Yep, so he gave this life drain an unblockable, so he's attacking again here. nice and conservative getting in the life drains early. That's a 4/6. Oh, now that we drew a wild shard, would love to draw Paw as we can. I almost said last turn we would love to draw Paw, but we can't play it. But now we can play it, so sign me up. I probably should have made Dreadlings last turn just to have the troops in my crypt, but I've got a lot of stuff in there, so... And this can't block, so I might as well keep attacking. We are dead on board. Not dead on board. Two pieces of quality removal is just more than enough to get us this game, unfortunately. So I'm taking 6 and going to 3 here. So even Paw of Yazuki locks it up. Or, no, because if he has a shard here, he can rage one of his other guys. I think it's because the supporting cards that go with Underworld Crusader aren't very great. This line that he's taken here means that I can live for a turn if I drop Paw of Yazuki, which is nice. Means I cannot live if I do that. I think we're just submitting. I mean, this deck's a great example of bad Underworld troops. Ugh. It's good to draft non-Ruby cards in this format every once in a while to remind me why I should only draft Ruby cards. It's nice to not feel dead to a Twilight Reverend, but on average our decks are just worse. I guess Casualty technically like makes them pay 6 life for a Twilight Reverend, but that doesn't seem particularly good. This hand is definitely a keep, but it's not exciting. We have to play this for blood so we can get our other stuff going, which means we don't have wild for this right away, but hopefully that doesn't matter. Probably a Jet Cadet on 2 play. Start getting our assault triggers in on our Death Dealer whenever a troop we control attacks. This gets +1 power permanently. Old Naive Lacking on 2, wonder what he drew. Sapphire Shards are actual worst draws because they don't play the Death Dealer or the Paw of Yazuki. Feels a little bad. These are the worst draw in our deck. Continue drawing them. Oh, at least it looks like he doesn't have anything going on, so that almost certainly means there's a Twilight Reverend coming next turn. And we don't have an answer for that. Hopefully we draw Guppy Gloves. Want to buy Guppy Gloves. Guppy Gloves. Guppy Gloves, yeah. Guppy Gloves. Guppy Gloves, yeah. That's fine. Fine, yeah. Do this here. Man, I wish I would have drafted a second copy of that. It's real good. And then I'm going to sack this to make all my zombies bigger, including this one. So he takes 5. His guy dies. We get ours back. I mean, there's also like Explosion and Spoil, and this color combination has a lot of quality answers to Twilight Revenant. Ugh. Well, we were doing well, and then that happened. I think I'm binning these two and hoping this Jet Cadet's enough. That's probably not true. Again, just a quality reminder of why we shouldn't draft non-Ruby cards. Right on time, Blood Shard. Yeah, I should have attacked with my 4-2 first, whatever. So, 6th shard, kill this, gain 4 life. Well, that's why we didn't trade there, because this could trade here. So we're going to take 5 on the crackback. This has to be dead, right? So, when you make the argument, you shouldn't have drafted the good cards because your opponent's deck is also bad and it's working for them against my worst deck. Like, come on now. Come on now. I'm playing this without Scrounge, right? Because otherwise they just get to sack this. Things that feel bad. And it says they're dead in the air to this and they're dead in 2 to this until they play the card for 6 that kills my guy and gains them life. Yeah, Rizix would be cute. Unless one of those cards is Twilight Revenant. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. Good games, Trex. Alright, I'm going to take off. Peace, folks. Thanks for hanging out. I'm probably going to lose the last match with this one in private. I'm getting hungry, and the kids could probably use a snack as well. So, thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow to do my normal Hex TCG stream. Hopefully, Constructed goes better tomorrow afternoon, because I would really like to climb that ladder up a little bit.